this is Sandra Miller, and this is my speech for Communications 3325. This is my audience, and I will begin my speech on bilingualism in the medical field and its importance now. Do you realize that since 2000, over half of all the overall U.S. population growth has been Latino? According to the author William Henry, the browning of America will alter everything in society from politics and education to industry, culture, and values. Since we're all from South Texas, we can all relate to this browning. And since we're all in the medical field, we can all understand just how frustrating it is. When you're trying to communicate with patients, it gets confusing if you cannot understand them. To properly care for our diverse patient database, we should all have a basic knowledge of a second language. Today, I'll give 3 reasons why it's so important for us as healthcare workers to communicate with our patients. Number 1, why communication is the key to all healthy relationships. Number 2, why the healthcare field is in dire need of culturally aware employees. And 3, why knowing Spanish is just as important in healthcare as understanding heart disease and importance of hand washing. So first point I'd like to make is how important communication is. After all, it is the key to all relationships, especially working relationships. When there's a problem or an issue at work, people always say it's best to just talk it out. What if you just can't talk it out because you cannot understand what the other person is trying to say? Communication is an essential characteristic of human functioning, and some people take it for granted until talking it out is no longer a part of their lives. As healthcare workers, we cannot take it for granted. We need to talk it out. We do not intentionally misunderstand our patients, nor do we want to hurt them in any way. However, without an understanding of cultural differences, it's easy for offense to be caused and misunderstandings to occur. Effective interactions with patients and families will only increase patient care, not hurt it. So next to communication, the employees make all the difference, which brings me to my next point. The healthcare field is in dire need of culturally aware employees, especially here in South Texas. If the healthcare worker is equipped with knowledge of the patient's culture and language, it would certainly improve his communication with his patient and their family. It is something that our hospital is highly aware of, and some policies are already implemented regarding culture. We just simply need to expand on training to include language skills. It is vital to learn diversity and cultural awareness in the medical field because when we understand someone and communicate with them effectively, it inspires trust, confidence among those two parties. Cultural diversity training is of utmost importance in today's diverse society to hopefully rid of cultural barriers. It's necessary for workers to be more sensitive to the needs of patients and not make assumptions about them based on their ethnicity or race, but just make the best unbiased decisions possible to treat these patients. America's rapidly changing demographics present a challenge for today's healthcare leaders to redesign the organization and delivery of care to accommodate the people who now represent every language, cultural, and religious belief in the world. These healthcare workers that make all the difference will benefit the most from knowing a second language, and it will be very simple for all of us, which brings me to my last point. Knowing Spanish here in our area is just as important in healthcare as understanding heart disease and knowing the importance of hand washing. It would be very easy to incorporate these basic Spanish medical terms into our existing mandatory retraining skills that we already do every year. It would be as simple as learning a few easy phrases like "Donde le duele?" "Where is your pain?" or just anatomical words such as "estómago" for stomach or "pecho" for chest. It wouldn't take long, and it would benefit a great deal for every healthcare employee in our hospital. There is a great need in our diverse American society today for medical personnel to work with patients in their language, and I think it's something that we can all agree is best for the patient. So whether it be heart disease, hand washing, or learning a second language, as healthcare workers, we make a difference every day, and it's our responsibility to keep up with this diverse field. This browning of America that I mentioned earlier will continue to grow, and we should be able to grow with it and care for the people in it by communicating with our patients, being aware of their culture, and knowing their language. In the medical field, we learn new ideas and implement new skills to better our employees and give our patients the best care possible. Wisdom occurs when knowledge is used appropriately to manage and solve problems. It results from understanding and required human effort. The medical industry holds a world of wisdom, and this would just be one more wise move as industry workers and healthcare workers in providing better care for our patients. In my intercultural communications class, I recently learned that it is impossible to put yourself in someone else's shoes when it comes to culture and diversity. But you can certainly learn, though, to understand and care how or why someone may feel uncomfortable in a diverse situation. And that one thing, caring, is what makes the difference and what makes working in the medical field so important. Because we do care and we owe it to our patients to show them how much. Thank you.